What's your advice to the guys who are just getting started?
In my opinion is it really benefits them to find a good dealer and work with a good dealer. That dealer can help them grow. I think they're going to put them into the right kinds of products. That dealer, Kubota dealers, that dealer, any dealer that's in that area, obviously we suggest the Kubota dealers, we try to make sure that they have the best products out there available. Like Matt mentioned, some of the insurance and some of the other things we have. But getting that and developing a relationship with that dealer to me is the most important. I also believe that it makes more sense to stay along the lines of one brand. The reason I say that is because it helps reduce complexity of the different dealers and different people you need to stop at. I think it can save overall time for the customer, for the user. And those are going to be important things, especially as they start to scale their business. Instead of having 4 different machines, if you have 4 of one machine, you're going to get smarter on the one machine than you are on 4 different machines. And you only need 1 set of parts for the 4 machines. Just a quick example. And I think those are the examples that make sense to people rather than worrying about a couple dollars on a more this way or that way or the other way. It's getting in, knowing, learning about the equipment that you have as you move through and potentially scale your business. Now, I know there's some guys out there that don't want. They want to just be on and off. But then the suggestion there is you find the equipment that you believe and sources help you find. They're going to reduce the amount of downtime you're going to have. You know, I'm a big proponent of 2 things, really, comfort and downtime reduction. I think those are the things that take care of your people and allow you to make a little bit more money because you're not waiting for your unit to get repaired in the shop.
I just want to echo what you said earlier. It's a mechanical piece of equipment that's used on a daily basis. It's going to need support. It's not just a buy it now and forget about it. You need that support from your dealer, and that's what I feel the same way. The dealer is the main driver, in my opinion, of when you're looking for a piece of equipment.
Do you guys have any other pieces of practical advice other than, getting a healthy relationship established with your dealer for folks in this industry?
I think another one that I like to always speak a little bit about is kind of know your lane, know what you're good at.
That's good.
Try to stay in that lane. So, example, some people I think at times take jobs that are outside their lane, if you will. So, what I mean by that is if you're mowing primarily residential or whatever, certain property sizes and things, to make sure you have the right equipment for those properties. If you need a gate machine, if you're going to be in backyards and things like that, make sure you get a gate machine. A lot of people start with gate type machines, 36-inch or 48-inch type machines and things like that. But then if that's the equipment you have, don't go out and bid some 10-acre job. Right. Because you're not going to be successful at it. You're going to be trying to put your small piece of equipment on a large property like that, and you're going to be dissatisfied with your income statement as it goes on that one and the time consumed at that property. So those are a couple of the big keys. And as you become an expert in that area and you want to grow and expand your business, then go on to the next one and grow that little bit of the segment of your business. And then you have quite a portfolio over time. That's a really good piece of advice, Tom.
Yeah, and I would say, adding on to that would be educate yourself. We were talking about earlier on the way here, the green industry is a pretty tight-knit community. Your podcast, sharing a lot of information with people, there's a lot of it out there that can really help individuals out when they're first getting started. So I can only imagine what it's like, whatever it may be, you're starting this and you're just like, where do I begin? And, just educating yourself before you go out there and make those big purchases is, I think, a key point.
You got a question, Mr. Producer?
I just want to know when I'm going to be able to buy this machine. I want to hear more about the equipment. Tell me about some of these great zero turns that I saw today. What models are really hot right now? What do you recommend that people take a serious look at as they're thinking about their plans for next year?
All the models are hot right now, actually, just with inventory shortages and issues like that most everyone's seeing. Our popular models right now are Z400 product family, or Z700, and our ZDs. We kind of dominate the diesel zero-turn segment. That segment's great for the large estate owners and people that are mowing large acreage properties, big decks, very fuel efficient, very economical to operate, and things like that. A lot of municipalities use those types of pieces of equipment. And then the smaller, more nimble machines on smaller, tighter properties is be that Z400, Z700. So we have what people need. They just got to go to their dealer and check it out. And again, from the podcasts and everything else online and all those things, people can learn a lot. To me, it's next level when you start getting the dealer involved, and they're really the subject matter experts on the product as well there. And then they have a lot of support behind them. We support our dealers to learn and know, the hot things going on right now.
And Paul, I would just add, so impressed with the way everything was put together. It was just eye-opening to see the quality control at every step there in the whole process. And so I want people to know, made in Georgia.
Yeah, made in our
quality machinery made here in Mr. Producer's
literally
backyard.
in our backyard. I was talking to Beth about setting this up, and I was like, I live right here. So thank you guys for coming to our hometown here. Mr. Producer and I live here, and this was very convenient for us, so we appreciate it. But I mean, you employ 3,000 people in our little town to watch them make the mower from nothing to it going out the door. I mean, it was special for the hometown here, in Georgia and the United States.
Yeah. Don't want to be the best kept secret in Georgia.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, how can people connect with Kubota and learn more about the financing options, the fleet options, and get rocking and rolling?
Yeah, I'd say your first step, again, you check out the website. If you have a relationship with one of our local Kubota dealers, start right there. It's about, finding that local dealer of choice, going in and talking to them. And I think that's the best step you can do from the professional landscape avenue. I think that's the way you should go.
And if you want that overview of all of the Kubota products, that KubotaUSA.com, that website is very powerful.
Yep.
It's up to date.
Yeah, and Tom, I want to reiterate something Tom said, because I do a lot of one-on-one coaching calls, and guys see on Instagram all these setups, and they think they need the 36 and the 52 and the 60, and you just get everything you can to look cool. But you made a really good point, is know who your customer is and get the equipment for that customer, and then you're going to have to say no to whoever has the other. There's so much work out there, but you have to know what to say yes to and what to say no to. And I thought that was really good, because personally, Tom, when I was building my business, I said yes to everything until, like you said, I was looking at the profit and loss statement and saying, this ain't working out until you choose, this is my lane.
Yeah. One of the things long ago in my career, as you said, I've been in it forever. Not really forever, but a long time, is I met with a guy in the Dallas area, actually from Dallas. I don't know where that guy ever got to, but anyway, he had a thing, and it was for profitability. He knew where all of his trucks would go, so he had about 6 trucks that would roll around. They did primarily residential, so he knew he had the routes known, and this was 20 years ago. He knew this, and he goes, if those trucks have more than about 32 miles a day on, somebody's not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And then his product, this and that, and this again, 20 plus years ago, everything was credit card based. He never went to the property. His basically his statement was, I don't ever want to call from somebody. You don't ever want to have to go back and do something. Mm-hmm. So he trained his people and got his people on board to say, this is the job you're expected to do, and he was very successful at it, and it was eye opening to me. And he was a fairly young guy. He had enough capital and this and that to get the number of trucks and have the crews and things like that. And it was kind of eye-opening to me. Even back then, 20-something years ago, he knew if that truck was outside the lines, if he would talk to that guy, say, hey, you really shouldn't have put more than 32 miles on today, and you were at 40. Where did you go?
Quick Trip.
Well, hard to say, but anyway, he had fallback and follow-up plans and things like that. So it was very interesting, and that's a recommendation that I would say with many of the other people. And the other thing is stacking. When you're finding your customers and things like that, you want to try to eliminate your transit time. Mm-hmm. That's just another recommendation. If you can get ideally
route density.
Yeah, route density, and then if your dealer's in the center of that route, that works doubly well.
When you're starting out, plan that. Where's your dealer at? Where's the big money at, the neighborhood you want to work in, and get that all mapped out, that it's together. Yeah. You have no choice if you're in the Atlanta market. You have to be in a certain
selling your service versus just waiting for people to call from different areas.
Yeah,
you're selling your service in one area and growing from there.
Great.
And that's another cue too. Again, another guy many years ago said in the Houston area, same way. He wanted to do more on one street. So they pull in. They're on that street. His average time on property was about 13 minutes. That was the average time for the total crew to be there. Well, rather than move off in 13 minutes, he'd rather do 8 more houses, 13, 13, 13, you know, all those, and pretty effective. He made some money.
Great.
So.
Well, thank you guys for the tips, and thank you for your time. And again, thank you for showing us Kubota today. I know Mr. Producer and I really appreciate the generosity.
Well, you're very welcome. Thanks again for having us on. Appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.